thank you for that thunderous applause.
Get it?
I am delighted to be able to visit with you, to share my thoughts about an issue that is so contentious. Race is always a very contentious issue. And currently our nation is so deeply divided into blue and red and black and white that I think it's befitting that we come together in a house of the Lord where I'm safe from any apples or whatever to discuss this very contentious issue. I know that passions run very, very high on all sides about this, and I respect your points of view, and let me just share with you where I'm coming from about this. I often get asked the question, how can you as a brown-skinned guy, a black man in America, take the position that you do? I was born in the Deep South, in Leesville, Louisiana, in 1939. My father left the house when I was 2 years old, and I didn't see him for 58 years. My mother died when I was 4. I was raised by an uncle and an aunt. Uncle was wed to my aunt. He was a man who believed in self-empowerment. He never got beyond the 3rd grade. He dug ditches, he piled lumber, but he always said that you can be anything that you want to be. Just don't make your future based on what somebody else will give you. I think as a black man, as black people, we have lost our way when it comes to self-empowerment, taking matters into our own hands. As an American, we are betraying the very essence of what it means to be an American. People come here from all around the globe, settling into our precious place that we call America. They come here in favor of and seeking equal treatment, equality, freedom, something that we often take for granted. But that's why they come here. And we deny, we betray all that we stand for when we don't honor that principle of equal treatment under the law. There was a time when one could make a strong case for what is often called affirmative action, something that was created in 1961 by John F. Kennedy, almost 50 years ago. And the policy was created, my friends, not to give preferences to anyone. In fact, Hubert Humphrey said that if affirmative action ever became a system of preferences, he would eat the paper on which it was written. Affirmative action was created as a policy of non-discrimination. 4 years after its creation, it became a system of goals and timetables, indeed preferential treatment. We all knew that the day would have to come when any distinctions that the government makes between its people on the basis of where their granddaddy came from or the color of their skin or their gender, that those distinctions would have to end. Every time the Supreme Court has considered this, they have said there has to be an end date to the idea of race preferences. Recently, this initiative passed in the state of Arizona by a margin of 60 to 40. The left-leaning Arizona Republic endorsed the initiative. And in that endorsement, it said that with respect to ending race-based preferences, quote, that time is now. I think that we, as Americans, need to see if we can find ways to make the transition from race-based affirmative action to affirmative action based on those who need it, income, socioeconomic distinctions, kids who've never had parents go to college. Those are the ones who should receive our help. In contracting, we need to find ways to help small businesses without regard to their race or their ethnic background. I would remind you that the 1964 Civil Rights Act has not been repealed. My people fought long and hard for that act. And what it guarantees to every American is the right to equal treatment under the law. That's all this initiative is about. The language is very clear. The state, small s, shall not discriminate against or grant preferential treatment to any individual or group on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in the operation of public employment, public education, or public contracting. How can we oppose that? There's no deception there. It's very plain language, and language has meaning. It means that every one of us is entitled to be treated as an equal by our government. We have fought long and hard for that very principle. Now I think it's time that we honor it. And there's no other place that it belongs except in the Bible of our states, the Constitution, something that is there to remind us all that everyone is an equal and entitled to be treated as such by their government, by the state, by the university, by the city, the county, mosquito abatement districts. Everyone is entitled to be treated as an equal by their government. There's nothing odd about that. If you oppose that, then you logically and intellectually, you oppose the 1964 Civil Rights Act. So I beseech you to join in the effort to roll back preferences and distinctions made by our government on the basis of these immutable traits that we call race and skin color, and come together and find a way to fashion policies based on socioeconomic conditions rather than those traits. Thank you very much.